of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Big ups to you. Good afternoon as well, however you are, or whatever time zone you are. Oh, do we have a fun show tonight? Episode 97. We're approaching 100. I don't know if I'm going to save that episode and try and do something special, but I hope you were too blessed to be stressed. I am, in fact, too blessed to be stressed. As always, you know me, life hands me too many blessings. How can I not count them? But I hope you were counting yours. Look, got a really good friend of the channel. He's not backstage yet. I scheduled this show on as a power move. I told him top of the hour. I pull up a little bit sooner. You see how I do that? That's a little bit of a power move. Don't worry about it. That's a subtle power move anyway. But hey, there's a poll in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Hit a like on the video too before I bring the guest out. Look, this is a man that, quite frankly, a lot of Spurs channels have been trying to get this guy locked in. They've been trying to get this guy to be to come on their channel and speak about his thoughts on Tottenham Hotspur. But I'm here to tell you that I have him live and direct, top of the hour. I'm starting a little bit early also so I can say hello to y'all in the chat, so I can see what's cracking, and also just, you know, wanted to give everybody some time to get on in here before we really start grilling this man about some of these things. Look, I have a few things I've bookmarked. Yes, I've bookmarked them. They've been bookmarked a while. I had to unbookmark them and rebookmark them so they'd be at the top of my bookmarks. Look, it's going to be a fun show, but I hope you are well. Look, he's already in the chat. Why are you live before I'm even there? See, I got him right where I wanted him, ladies and gentlemen. He will be here shortly. Don't you worry. But big up to HUSAM, and everyone go subscribe to This Is Football if you haven't already. Obviously, he's a huge content creator for Liverpool. I do have to say before I bring him out at all, this is he's a great guy. You know, some people say, oh, he's kind of, you know, bad mouthing Spurs. He's mean about Spurs. He says this and that about Ange Postecoglou, and I hear him everywhere. I know what he be saying. I hear him, but you know what? First and foremost, he's a great guy. I like I said yesterday, hey, take your time. No rush, Sam. I told you top of the hour. I just started early because, hey, just had to get my first feet going before you came here. Chewy's here as well. Chewy did want to show up and say hello to HUSAM. The chat is already popping. There's already 50 of y'all in the house, and we are 5 minutes in. First and foremost, I want everyone to hit a like. Secondly, subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'm sorry, I'm getting really distracted looking at this chat. Y'all are absolutely hilarious. But let me see who got the first place prize. Drunk Vigo. Look, I scheduled this way in advance, but StreamYard doesn't save them until you're like a certain time out from starting the show. So the first place prize that I see is Drunk Vigo. He's here for HUSAM. Richard Evans has hit the like. Big up, Rich. You get the first place member prize. Big up yourself for being the first YouTube chat member to be in the chat. Big up Ravi as well. There's the link for This Is Football. It is also in the title of this video. Look, he is a waffle merchant. He's a wind-up merchant. And if you let him get under your skin, you've let him win. That's plain and simple. That's just the rules of the game. You got to know the rules of the game before you walk into the casino. You know what I mean? I remember being young, walking into the casino, thinking I knew this, that, and the other. And I was playing blackjack, and the people to my left were like, you need to learn what you're doing before you come up here and play with us, because you're really ruining the hands or whatever. I don't know. I don't count cards. But look, you need to know the rules of the game. Don't let him get under your skin. He's going to say some things that are outlandish, absolute waffle, and I'm here for it. Again, I only support good people on this platform. Like I said yesterday, I had Egal. He's an Arsenal supporter, an avid Arsenal supporter. If you consume Big Six content, you've likely seen him, and you've likely not liked some of the things that he said. But I will allow him to be on this platform. I will invite him back again whenever he can make it, because I think he's a great guy, first and foremost. Whether I agree or disagree, I only support good humans, and I hope that the chat, I hope y'all y'all recognize that. I hope y'all see that it's not like anything other than it's all love. Egal's a waffler, but it's all love. HUSAM, he's a waffler, but it's all love. Look, they have made the decision to support these fraudulent clubs. Not us, Tottenham Hotspur fans. I'll tell you that much. But honestly, I feel fortunate first and foremost to know these people as humans outside of this YouTube hemisphere. But I just want to say that off the top of the show because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Egal's a good guy. LB's a good guy as well. I would only put good guys on this platform first and foremost. But let me see who else is checking in. We got Wolves Fi here. Mia is in the house. Big up Mia with Spurs between the lines. Says Liverpool's Waffle House here. Let's see what he's going to say now. Hey, he'll be here very, very shortly. Don't you worry. Again, I started the show a little bit early before he got here. It's just a power move. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. It's subtle. It's that subtle power move. But big up Ravi as well in the house. There's a question. I will star that and we'll bring it up later. But big up Ravi. You can get your questions in. I'll star them as we go along. Obviously, super chats will take priority, etc., etc. But you could do the free thing. You could do what Ravi did, hit a Q and ask your question. I'll see it. I'll star it and we'll bring it up at some juncture. But big up Ravi. Big up Alan Bennett is in the house. B-Tech, I don't know, Ali G, Mr. Big Shot. Call me Mr. Big Shot. Is that how the song goes? David, how you doing? Big up David. Says big up Jacob. I love that thing you tagged me in Twitter. No weak foot. Hashtag no weak foot when it comes to Heung-min son, Heung-min dad. That's just first and foremost. Big up Spurs GCTV says, evening Jacob, hope you're well. I am doing fabulous. Spurs GCTV, the special one. Big Al says, like secured. Big up my friend, good to see you back in the house. Chelsea fan, look, enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy seeing what Pochettino's doing over there. I don't enjoy it. I'm saying you should. But big up, Big Al. Tom Martin's here, says, evening Jacob and chat, been a while, hope you are well. I am well. I believe you're an Arsenal fan as well. You missed a great show. Had Egal, he's an Arsenal supporter. We did team of the year so far. And that was a lot of fun. Mr. Link is in the house. What's up, Yakub? Big up Mr. Link in the house. I think you're over here from This Is Football, if I'm not mistaken. Smash the likes, everyone. Cello guy's going to get his cheeks clapped. Drunk Vigo, that is a huge ayo, and that is a pause. I'm going to go ahead and have to hit you with the pause on that one, my friend. Me getting my cheeks clapped, what's going on here? My dog is here. Don't talk to me like that. HUSAM says no lies about Spurs. Look, in the poll, I've given the option, okay? The question is, what do you think of HUSAM's thoughts on Tottenham? Look, you may not know what his thoughts are. 13% of you saying, I don't know what his thoughts are, to be honest, and that's fair. You may or may not know him, but I'm calling him the bane of Tottenham Hotspur fan base because in the weeks leading up to and after, and then after our first loss, I would say this is what I've told him privately, and I don't mind sharing it publicly, that I think he had the Spurs fan base wrapped around his little finger, and everything that he tweeted, everyone had seen. He was getting all the clicks from all the people because he was just frankly waffling about Tottenham. And I've got some of the things started. Obviously not everything. I don't have all the fraudulence that he's spewed, but look, I have some things going back to September 28th, September 25th, 22nd, October. I've got some things bookmarked. I don't know if he's ready for the smoke, but he'll be here very, very shortly. Dropping a like and bouncing. Big up, Big Steve. Thank you for hitting that like. Big up. There he is, the fraud. Mike Dawes says, oh my God, the music loop is back. Oh, it's always back, my friend. It's always back because, you know, you never know what you might hear in the background, but I drop it out ever so subtly. Don't you worry. That was just that watch along. I had forgot because I was just watching the game, watching along to the game. How you doing? Captain Grandma's in the house. Good day to all fellow. Too blessed to be stressed, you wafflers. Big up, Captain Grandma. How you doing? Big up, Letty is in the house. How are you doing, Letty? Good to see you here. Yep, he is absolutely fishing. Don't let him get under your skin, then you let him win. That's the motto. This is about to be Pierce Morgan, Andrew Tate interview. I do have questions. I have questions for HUSAM. He needs to stand up here and answer some of the things that I have questions for. So he'll be here very, very shortly. There he is. Tequila's in the house. I would say England are shit. Thank you. Did not watch the game. Cannot be asked to watch Gareth Southgate. He is the British version. He's worse than Greg Berhalter. And that's saying something because Greg Berhalter is an absolute fraud. And anyone who supports U.S. men's national team knows that. I don't think anyone likes Greg Berhalter except his brother, who works for the U.S. Soccer Federation or whatever, who appoints the head coach of said team. And you know what? He appointed his brother, and his brother is a fraud, so I think that makes both of them frauds, first and foremost. But England are the same as that. Gareth Southgate, he's got all this talent, but he ain't doing nothing with it. Greg Berhalter at least has some sprinkled talent, but he's still doing suspect things with it. I'm not going to dive down a U.S. men's national team. I'm not going to dive down there. LFC for the double says, Sam and being late, some things never change. To be fair, I did say top of the hour, but now he is late. We are an hour, a minute and 40 seconds past the hour, so there he is. He is late. Big up Ozan. Hope you're doing well. Alan Bennett. Side Dancers here. How you doing? Southgate out. The fucking fraud. Hey, I think he is a fraud personally. I can't watch him. I can't watch his matches. I don't think it's fun. When I watch the sport, I try to be entertained. I try to have some fun with it. And look, I don't think he has much fun with it. Big up to Chewy. Chewy did show up to the show. He is not fraudulent today. I did have to coerce him with a little piece of breakfast sausage. So there you go. Technically, it fell on the floor, so I wasn't really spoiling him. It was going to get thrown away. I would rather go watch the Marvels than watch England. I don't watch the Marvels, but anyone who does, I hope you enjoy it. I personally do not enjoy the superhero movies. Neil Shafton says, big for Liverpool, but think Spurs are so far beneath them. The way he was whining about Liverpool choking against Spurs. Neil Shafton, I have some receipts. And if anyone in the chat has receipts, send them to me. I will bring them up. These are charges we are bringing to HUSAM, first and foremost. So if you have any fraudulent charges you want to bring, hey, DM me on Twitter. Hang on. No, I don't know how to do it. My Twitter's somewhere on this thing. You'll see it eventually. Trevor Smith, big up. Jacob, big up Trevor Smith. Good to see you in the house. Brian Jumbo, that's a new name. Says, big up Jacob. How you doing, Brian Jumbo? The beer talk is here. Plastic fans, Jake. Who's plastic? Who's the plastic fans? Is HUSAM going to be rocking a suit? Who knows how he's going to show up to this? Look, I don't think he is. I think it's getting cold over there, so I'm predicting a hoodie personally. Watch, he's going to change just so I'm not correct about what he's wearing, but I think it's going to be a hoodie. Color either likely red or brown on that side of the spectrum of colors. Everyone get out their tin hats because this guy believes the world is out to get Liverpool. Only Liverpool has a deep state after them. Neil Shafton, I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. He is officially late now, though. That's 4 minutes he is late. Big up Yakub and Lou Sam. Hey, get some L's in the chat going for HUSAM whenever he does come out here. Don't worry, he will be here shortly. This just means I think his show is going to start in about an hour from now, too, as well. I first saw Yakub on El Agua and became a fan right away. Hey, big up. That was a great... The first... Was it the first one that you're talking about? The first time I ever got featured on that? I was... shout out Staffy TV real quick, even though he's a fraud as well. Shout out Staffy TV. Go subscribe to Staffy TV. I think he had got me on that show, and I had been telling him, bro, I want to get on that show. HUSAM's talking all this shit about Tottenham Hotspur, and there needs to be someone on there representing Tottenham Hotspur and speaking truth about Tottenham Hotspur on his platform, because he had lots of people watching, and they're all just bad-mouthing Tottenham. Everyone on the panel is bad-mouthing Tottenham. I can't have that. Personally, I can't have that. And then, what happens? We end up becoming friends. So there you go. Isn't that a Hollywood story? Sebastian says, what's up, Jacob? How do you feel about Kulusevski? I'm going to star that as well. That's a great question, Sebastian. Big up, Sebastian. Good to see you. I believe you're a Sweden fan because that is a Swedish team logo, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen it in FIFA. Big up, Ravi says, HUSAM is a sound guy. He's just passionate on what he believes. Cannot blame the man for being passionate on what he believes, because that's exactly what I am. Passionate on what I believe as well. The op left his block for once. Take his Jordans. Send him Silla. That's a new name as well, and I don't know what that technically means, but there you go. No weak foot for sure. Hopefully we see one against Villa. I'll be at the game. Oh, here we go. I wonder. This man, he's here, y'all. He's here. And I feel like a 16-minute intro is a great intro. Normally you go on shows and they'll give you about 15 seconds. I've given about 15 minutes of an intro to this man. Look, I'm not going to wait any longer. The reason y'all are here, other than to say hello and to support the channel, of course, but to see the man himself. He's shown his face in the realm of Tottenham Hotspur. First and foremost, before we say any more, let me just say welcome. Thank you for coming on, and happy debut day for you. We've had 3 debuts in 2 days, so thank you for that.
I appreciate you for having me. This is the first Spurs channel. Like, come on, this is beyond enemy lines, beyond enemy territories right here. First Spurs channel I'm on ever since I started beef with this whole fan base. So big up to the chat. Big up to all of you guys who wanted this link up right here. I feel disgusted that I'm surrounded by a sea of white right now, but there is nothing I can do about it.
I did that on purpose. I could do this layout if I wanted to, but I felt like this would make you feel just that much more fresh, you know?
Fair.
Are you wearing a hoodie or is that a zip up?
That is a hoodie. That is a jacket. It's cold as fuck, Jacob. It's like 12 degrees.
Yeah, I was trying to predict what you might be wearing, and I thought I predicted a hoodie.
Then is it cold? What's the temperature over there?
It was actually warm yesterday, but today it got cold, and the rest of the week it's going to be cold. But it's perfect cold. It's not like too cold. In the days it's 50s to 60s Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is Celsius, America. But whatever that is, that's what it is. It's kind of chilly, but it's nice because it's sunny as well. So I'm enjoying it. Big up Dermot with THFC till I die. Member for 5 months. Member for 5 months. Big up Dermot says, big up Jacob. Come on, you Spurs. Hey, big up Dermot. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the house. Look, I have questions. I'm sure the chat's going to have questions. I still have to scroll through and catch up and see and make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions.
But Jacob, I'm not a diva or anything, but can you remove the name on the screen so my traps are showing?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think everyone knows. Did that do it? Let's see. Did that do it? No, that didn't do it. That did not do it. How do I do that?
Go to brand, show display names.
Oh, brand. That's where it is. I was looking in the settings. That's right.
I went to the gym today, exercised, and they're looking good today.
Okay, yeah. Hey, no shame in the game. I did not exercise today. I've just been doing my dad duties, and lately it's been throwing, flipping, and he's been an acrobat. And then since I hadn't had my coffee, I kind of not dropped him, but he did kind of bang his head. I think saying not dropping him is a bad way to say how I was handling my son.
I was about to say, like, that sounds wrong.
That does not sound great. Look, he kind of slipped and he bumped his head a little bit on the recliner, a hard part of the recliner. But don't worry, I made it all better. So everything's good. Look, HUSAM, first question I have to open up.
Yes.
First question. Why are you laughing? First, why is that my first question? But why are you laughing?
People don't know that me and you have a relationship outside like YouTube, right? They don't know that we speak like we just speak about regular life, you know, outside of this platform right here. So it's like Jacob has started in such a formal manner. I don't know how to behave right now. Serious face.
Hey, the channel, I always work on having immaculate vibes. That's all the requirements are. I have no idea. You know, I was thinking about this because we had planned the show out in advance, and I was thinking about it beforehand. I'm like, am I gonna try like and do what I don't really do on the channel and like have this like serious discussion? But look, I think there are some things that I do want to, you know, that when they were tweeted, I was like, when I get the chance, this is something I want to bring up. And then it happened several times before and then after we inevitably met in the Premier League. And look, what were your thoughts on the game? Just so this platform, anyone who hasn't heard your direct thoughts, if you had to give me an elevator pitch, your thoughts on the match between Liverpool and Spurs earlier this season, just so it's on record.
Oh, you were going to bring up that memory right there?
The first, I want to just lay it. That's our, just start there. Let's pull the yarn. Here's our first string.
My thoughts on that game is that game did not disprove anything I've said about Tottenham Hotspur the whole season. I was not worried at all before going to play Spurs away. And I got proven right, to be honest with you. I don't think Spurs disproved anything I said from a football perspective. When it was 11v11, we completely nullified Maddison. he couldn't get into the game. Even you can admit that. We essentially gave you guys possession. We let you play with the football, but we just pressed in the right moments, won it high up the pitch, and created the more dangerous opportunities, more dangerous chances. Before the Curtis Jones red card, we had 6 shots to your 1. So we were completely, the much better team offensively going forward. The Curtis Jones red card then happens, which I don't think it's a red, but, for the sake of argument, let's give it as a red. After that is what I have a problem with. The Luis Diaz goal, being not given onside completely. Yes, I am a trap Mia. I'm a thirst trap. Big up. So anyway, the goal was not given.
I specifically in one of the groups, real quick, I did specifically in one of the groups tell me, I was like, she's like, you know what? I wasn't going to tune in today, but since it's Sam's there, I will tune in. I was like, great. Because this is one, she knows you from not just this season as well. So
I've known Auntie Maya like 2 years ago. I've known her a long time ago on Spaces, so yeah. Spurs King, I got asked a question. I said he's crying about the game. You guys, you see, this is the problem with the Spurs fan base. You guys don't listen. No one said, no, I'm not crying about the game. He asked me about the game. You fraud. Anyway, so
the Spurs King, I did ask him. I did say the first question was, "What are your thoughts on the match?" So this was initially to get that going, but big up Spurs King.
I think then after that, even with 10v11, we created the most dangerous chance of the game, which is the Salah pass to Diaz, which he should have scored. It was right in front of goal, right there. And yeah, even then the Jota red card wasn't a red card. And you needed a Matip own goal in the 96th minute to win a home game against 9 men. So listen, it was nothing impressive. It just literally proved everything I'm saying about Spurs. And I thought Spurs were gonna be on downfall even without the injuries or the red cards.
Well, let's hang on now before we start, swimming in the lap pool. Let's make sure our body's acclimated to the temperature. I do want to say some may argue playing against 9 men when you have 5 camped out and a low block inside of the box, that is hard to break down nonetheless when you have 3 camped out on top of them in the front area of the box. So my question to you,
with 9 men versus Chelsea.
That was a different scenario. That is one where 98% of the world says, hey, that's not what you should have done. And I and Ainge and a few others are on the side of, I liked it. I personally liked it. It almost worked 3 times. And Sam, you're so lucky that it did not work, because the first appearance I could make on your lovely platform, This Is Football, it is tagged in the title of this video. Go subscribe. But if we had pulled it off, because I hear you everywhere you go, Sam. You say, Ainge Postecoglou this, Ainge Postecoglou that. And you've said Ainge Postecoglou, I think, as many times this season as I have. So, no?
Let's not do this. You've definitely said it more. You're a Spurs fan. You wake up in the morning and you say Ainge Postecoglou as soon as you wake up. You're obsessed with that guy, you and your fan base. Obsessed with this Ainge guy right here. The biggest media whore of all managers. Sorry for the bad language. There you are.
I was thinking about taking a trip, and there's this lovely place where the grass is green. And would you by any chance, want to take a vacation with me there, Sam?
I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I? What? So I can step on Ainge Postecoglou's face as I walk through the grass.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, excuse me. How'd they get there?
I have no idea what that was, but fair enough.
It's Christian Romero whenever he went on vacation in the offseason.
He went on many vacations, the amount of red cards he gets.
Technically, everyone's on vacation, but he is not, because he plays Brazil, and I'll be doing a watch-along tomorrow for that, Brazil versus Argentina. That'll be Emmer GOAT versus Cuti Romero, the GOAT, per Lionel Messi. But when you see this photo, Husam, what do you feel? Do you think anything about this photo?
I mean, showing pictures of Romero's childhood. Sorry. He's not my player. I don't give a fuck about his childhood.
Look at his mother. His mother is happy. He bought his mother a house. He bought his father a house.
Big up to his mom. But what am I supposed to feel like? Yay, that's Romero. So Like, what
He's
am I
not as
supposed-
bad. Because I think people have this recency, and I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but in regards to Romero, I think people have this recency bias about the type of player he is. Now, I had the team of the year going last night. You were
Actually,
in the chat. What's
you want
that?
to slide tackle his mom or something? Like, obviously, he's gonna be nice with his mom. Look at this fraud, man. Put a picture of his mom like that relates to the football pitch. You're such a fraud. You're actually such a fraud. You expect him to tackle his mom?
He bought her a house. I just want you some reference of the type of man that he is.
Yeah, everyone loves their mom. You know, even the murderers love their mothers. Like,
We have a question here from Spurs GCTV, and I'll throw this one to you, Sam. It says, I have two sons who support Liverpool. Have I failed as a parent? I'll say yes.
no,
Sam,
you have passed as a parent. You have made the right decision as a parent because your children are gonna enjoy a lot more success than you.
was that fingers crossed? I think that was fingers crossed. He's hoping that's the truth,
Oh,
but I don't think
thumbs
that's
up.
the truth. Oh, it was a thumbs up. Oh, okay. Big up everybody in the house. Like, I got a couple more things starred. I got a question here from Ravi before you jumped in the show. Sam says, where do you realistically see, I'm gonna phrase this, where do you realistically see Liverpool heading this season? Because there's a, you know what,
left out
just
the first part. Hey.
we're gonna go Liverpool with this one. I want to know,
Straight to hell.
because there's also a tweet that I do want to share with you, and I find it, you know, it's, I guess, relevant to this right now. Just bear
Let's
with
go.
me 1 second. Says these next two league games, Spurs away, Brighton away, will show us where Liverpool are headed this season if we win these two. You did not win the one versus Spurs. Do you, I just reflecting back on this tweet and where you were with your mindset on Liverpool then, as opposed to after you lost to Spurs, when you came to the home of Tottenham Hotspur and you left with 0 points. Does that affect your outlook on where you think Liverpool are going this season?
No, it doesn't affect it at all. After I finished watching that Spurs game, I even got more confident because that game just proved that Liverpool are a bigger threat than Tottenham Hotspur. Lost in between quotation marks. After that game, the PGMOL audio was embarrassing. The Diaz goal should have been given. And the independent Premier League referees panel came out and said Jota should have been sent off. So, yeah, I don't think that, like, my mind has changed about that tweet or anything. Big up Lauren. Dunk on his head top.
Big up, Lauren.
Anyway, so yeah.
That was not a dunk. That was just a comment. I was just saying hello, more or
She
less.
dunked on your head top.
That wasn't a dunk. You think I would allow a dunk? That's me rolling out the red carpet for a dunk. I would not allow such a thing.
She just dunked on you. And she's
No,
Canadian as well. So I can hold that. That's Canadian-American rivalry right there. Dunked on you. Anyway.
Well, I'm wearing short sleeves today. I wonder if she is. Probably not, because it's cold in Canada. Shout out the maple syrup merchants. I have a lot of Canadian friends, so shout out. But absolutely big up Lauren. Look, y'all say win in quotations. When we look back in the history books, of 5 years' time, I message you, I'll say, Hussam, what happened 5 years ago when you went to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Do you think you would still be hanging on to these feelings of theft and robbery?
Yes,
Or do you think by that juncture you might have accepted what the reality of the situation was by then?
Of course, if you speak to Chelsea fans, they don't recall the 09 game against Barcelona that they lost. They recall it as one of the biggest robberies ever. And that's how I feel about the game. It's the same thing. I think since VAR, it is by far the worst officiated game in history. It's like since the VAR has been established as a thing. Pre-VAR, we had many bad games. Many, like the Barca Chelsea game. I think that was theft as well. But this one right here, post-VAR world, this was by far the worst one.
Also,
yes,
I do want to ask, like, this thing, it wasn't the first instance of VAR fucking up, was it?
Mm-hmm. No,
Like,
it wasn't.
in the-
but it's just
So why
about
do you
the
think that
extent
this one was something that, not, and this is a serious question. I don't mean to be like snarky or try to be leading like I'm the dude from MTV Cribs, but I'm saying, why do you think that this one was so discussed? Why do you think that there was such a discussion around it?
Because of first of all, people need to remember it was the second. I think we were probably, we were the two most informed teams in the league playing, and it was a high, intensity game. It was a game that the whole world was waiting for, and the reality is, the referee fucked up, and it's just people make mistakes, but it's just about the level of mistake and the amount of mistakes he made. If I'm saying Jota shouldn't have been sent off, that's by far a decision that affected the game. If I'm saying Diaz's goal should have counted, we go into halftime 2-0 up. Right there, that's 2-0 up with 10 men, and you barely scored against us even with 9. So for me, it's the amount of mistakes. And also, if you go watch that game back as well, Tottenham Hotspur got all the 50-50s. Mo Salah on Bissouma, all of them little 50-50s that sometimes like go either way. All of them are going in Spurs' direction. So yeah, it's just how it goes, man. It's just how it goes. And history will recall it because it's been spoken about. It's been spoken about till this day. Not just by me and you, by everyone. People are referencing the Spurs-Liverpool game as to exactly why PGMOL audios should be released, as to why all these different things need to happen. So, yeah.
Big up to Mia with the first super chat of the day. Says, I need to sleep. Sam's agenda is making me tired.
I know it's past your bedtime, Mia. It's time to just, put this video on so you could give Jacob the 1 watch hour and just go to sleep, man. Big up to you, though, Mia. Big up. Mia always try coming with this energy, but whenever she speaks to me, this is not her energy. I'm telling you right now. Big up Mia, though.
Big up. Look, hang on real quick. I think we have a naughty boy in the chat. Look.
Hey, I love the fact he said no respect for what he says, no one cares, and it's this 4th comment in a row. Like, okay, you don't care, but you care enough to make 4 comments and you're still watching.
And this is not a name that I see often, so literally only tuned in to my channel because you're here. So I think they do care, as much as they say they don't. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and just a little go ahead and take a break, my friend. So big up Mia, thank you for that super chat. There is another thing that I do want to bring up with you.
How many tweets of me have you bookmarked, to be honest?
Do you want like a number, or do you want like a rough estimate?
Give me a number.
Well, I'll just, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So why would I waste our time with just talking about how many there is? And I'll just bring up the next one that says, we are beating Spurs next week. By the way, they don't scare me or intimidate me. They'll be dealt with. Thumbs up. Same question initially I started out. Oh, when you look at this tweet from September 25th. I don't get
why you think the full-time result disproved anything. Are you not Jacob, Mr. What matters is the style, what matters is the performance, it matters heading in the right direction? Did you honestly leave that game thinking, oh my God, Spurs deserve the win? Like, you love Spurs and you support the club, I understand that. But that game does not disprove any of my tweets. Really. It really doesn't. The fact that you needed a 96th own goal against 9 men Liverpool with a perfectly onside goal being ruled off and a player being sent off that shouldn't have been sent off, it does not disprove anything I said pre-game. It really doesn't. You've been riding your luck and your luck ran out. And now look, you've been bitten by the wolf.
It wasn't luck. Okay, the Wolves. Let's not bring up the Wolves, because the Wolves were just fortunate that they found a free meal. They were just going about their business and they found a free meal. So that's not
fortunate, but the chickens weren't when they
were. We were not lucky. I said they were fortunate, not lucky.
Those
Sam, that's semantics there. I said fortunate and not lucky, because those are two different words. Spurs were not lucky. Were we fortunate of some outcomes from human error? Yes. I stand by all the things that I said at the time, Sam, which was we are not lucky for what happened. We lucky.
Synonyms of lucky, literally first word right there. Fortunate.
It's blurry, so we can't see it, and there's no proof of what you're claiming.
I'm gonna play that game. I'll make it not blurry for you. No problem. No problem. Oxford Dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. Synonyms of lucky. Literally first synonym right there. Fortunate. So who's doing semantics now, Mr. Semantics? Hello, what does this say right here? Adjective, fortunate. Suddenly it's no longer blurry, Mr. Jacob.
I don't. Am I lagging right now? I don't see what that is. Moving right along. Look, you said they'll be dealt with. Do you think that Spurs were dealt with when the final whistle went and Pedro Porro was doing a rendition of Lionel Messi's?
Brought up your players' children and walk through the pitch after beating 9 men Liverpool. Like it's just so pathetic. It just proves everything I've been saying about Tottenham Hotspur. It just proves it, to be honest with you. I don't get how you think that game disproves anything I said. 11v11, who was the better team? Who had the better opportunities? Us.
I would say it was pretty. We was pretty even. We're
pretty even. You want me to bring out statistics? Because I know I love numbers.
I don't technically reference statistics all the time, although
in the first 34 minutes you had 0.02 xg. We had 0.61 xg.
Yeah, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm expected to make 3 eggs, but sometimes I make 2. What does that have to do with it? XG to me? I love stats for certain things, but XG to me is someone's mathematical prediction of something. Again, it's like saying you think that
you had 1.
So that's irrelevant. We still beat Palace with 1 shot on target. What's your point?
That's not the point. We had 6 shots. You had 1. If you're
talking about we've won a match with 1 shot on target, so I don't see the relevancy of that. And we still won the game that we are talking about. Sorry,
we're talking about who was the better team. All you had 11v11 was possession. We nullified you.
I would say 11v11. We were doing a decent job at applying our pressure, and it is not our fault, and nor is it a reflection of our performance that your players were unable to play cleanly. That's how I've always felt. I said the same thing when Basuma got sent off versus Luton. I said the same thing when Romero and Udogie got sent off with their suspensions. I said the same thing. Play cleaner, take the referee out of the match, because you know he's going to make a correct call and a fraudulent one. For every correct one, there's a fraudulent one, and that is an inevitable. You're good with math. I know you're a very smart individual. So when I say the refereeing fucking things up and awarding things to the wrong people is and I'm not good with numbers, by the way, but my basic understanding is that is a independent variable. That is not something that is a given every match day, that the referee will fuck something up, an independent variable. Whereas you and your team's performance is a dependent variable where you can actually affect that. That is the one thing you can do something about, which is your performance outside of the 88 other minutes it takes for the referee to finish up their decision.
The independent variable affects the dependent variable. Because once again, if you're talking about the Curtis Jones red card, first of all, we're talking about performance here. You went cyclically, you went 180 degrees to something I'm not talking about. When it was 11v11, we established we were the better team. Now, Curtis Jones, I don't think it's a red card, but if you want to give that as a red card, I've got no problem with that. Now, after that, it's the goal that was perfectly legal that wasn't given. And after that, it was Jota's red card that shouldn't have been given. That's the thing. So, like, these are two independent variables that affected a dependent game.
I got this. So I'm just going to pull up a visual representation, I believe, of what you're discussing. So this attack momentum operates under what you're talking about, Sam, which is XG. So if you look at it, 11v11, you had 3 real attacking momentum chances against our 2 before the first red card. Now, whether you agree if it's a red or not.
That entire thing, like, you're counting that momentum swing right there, all of that.
Blau, 1, and
you're counting 2, your little 2 ones like that as 2.
Yeah.
You see how you're being disingenuous? You think I don't know how to read graphs? I'm a chemical engineer. Have some shame.
I'm just saying, why is the graph green on those 2 instances before the red card?
That's the point.
Why is it green?
A lot bigger than your one.
I don't know. I'm looking there and I see two green. If it was not an hour attacking momentum to go and grab a goal, I don't think it would be green and be on the upside. Hey, this is just my basic understanding of the mathematics here. But you're here, you know what you're talking about, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. So, but if you look, I don't think between these 2 red cards, I mean, we did go ahead and get the 1 goal, but obviously we should have scored quite a bit amount of time. So again, operating under the expected of like what's the XG, I don't this tells me that we should have won. If I just look at this graph in isolation, this would tell me Tottenham should have won based on those red cards as well. They should have won 5-6-1, maybe 2.
But you're looking at isolation at something that shouldn't be looked at in isolation. That's the ultimate problem here. How are you isolating something that cannot be isolated when the independent variable has affected the dependent variable? Mike said you're shameless liar on a throne of lies. Wow, Jake. You're being so shameless.
Yeah, Mike does.
Shameless, right? Be honest. You know you're being shameless.
I don't see what you're talking about. I'm just asking questions. I didn't know Katie Kirk was shameless when she goes in and she asks people direct questions and then inadvertent questions that then still illustrate an overall theme. I don't think that that is shameless, nor a lie, nor a throne of lies. But shout out Mike Doss. Make sure you're hitting the like. Let's throw a question here to Hussam from the chat. I've got this one started up from about 30 minutes ago. It says, question, Hussam, thoughts on Ainge, how he's lifted Spurs?
How has Ainge lifted Spurs? That's a great question. I think Ainge has definitely lifted Spurs. I've given Ainge credit multiple times. What I do not like is the overdoing of credit. That's where I like to draw the line. I think Ainge Postecoglou has done an amazing job in terms of style of play, establishing a style of play, playing offensive football. For not in all the games, to be fair, but in most of the games I've seen, it's clear there. The players that we saw under Conte, who was the manager after Conte? Who was the manager after Conte?
Stellini.
No, not Stellini.
You're talking about for Tottenham?
Oh, shit. Conte was fired like 6 months ago, right?
Yeah, and then we had Stellini and Ryan Mason as a dual-headed monster.
Yeah, there it goes. Stellini and Ryan Mason. Some of them looked, that's the name I was looking for, Ryan Mason. I was like, that's this guy who used to play for them. But anyway, these guys right here, these players, even probably Jacob and many of you in the chat who are Spurs fans, I'm sure, were probably done with them. Even the likes of Romero, whoever you guys are bigging up right now, even non-new signings. Some people even wanted Son sold. Some people wanted Kulusevski sold. All of the players we're talking about. Bissouma as well. Some people even wanted Bissouma gone. Not much believe in Sarr or etc. The center backs, the full backs, everything. People just didn't like the team. And I think Ainge Postecoglou came in and he made a completely different idea of said players. So for me, I think these guys have been elevated under Ainge, and that's something that he deserves credit for. And I've given him plenty of credit for, and he deserves the credit. But at the same time, I recognize the games that I think Spurs were lucky in, and the games that I think Spurs done really well in. In football, you get luck. It's normal. Sometimes you get luck. Sometimes you get things that go your way, and sometimes you get things that go against you. So yeah.
Big up, Ravi. Great question. I've kind of been quickly
credit. See how I just gave Ainge credit?
I like that.
The problem is I don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it. That's it. If you guys
I was listening to you on Matisse. Shout out. It's Matisse or MAH, I think is what it is. Y'all did the Battle of North. Great show. I was enjoying the hell out of it. But you were saying some fraudulent things. You seem pretty upset at the public's perception of Ainge Postecoglou. So I want to ask you next. Why do you claim, and I want to give you a fair opportunity here, why do you claim that the media is sucking him off, quote unquote? And that's a direct quote from something you've said. And
why? Is that a serious question? Because
this man has completely transformed a fan base's hopes and expectations for an eventual outcome of this season. He has taken the players that were once here like a son and made him a captain, and now he's elevated his game when our talisman just left. He just broke the damn big-ass record for Tottenham, and then he's gone. So this man has taken something down and out, upset, broken, crumbled, and he said, hey, there's still hope. Let's start to put things together in a new way, in an improved way, and let's get this right this time. And let's not just build a throne on toothpicks. And so to me, I think it's been a correct appreciation of the work that this man has done. But obviously, I love hearing both sides of all things, because somewhere the truth is in the middle. Where you're saying that, I want you to speak on it, but I've heard you say that you feel the media is quote unquote sucking Ainge off. So why do you feel that way? What?
They are. Jamie Carragher, who's a former player of Liverpool Football Club. You've got Gary Neville, the same. Just the exact same thing, just kind of sucking off Ainge Postecoglou, overdoing it. I've never seen in my entire life as a football fan someone get credit for a 4-1 loss. I have never seen that. I don't believe I will see that. I don't think I will ever see that as well going forward.
It wasn't credited for the outcome. It was a credit for the different approach.
For losing 4-1 at home. Let's just
we didn't get credit. We didn't get credit. The fans appreciated what was done because it was something that we haven't seen. We didn't just crumble. Look, versus Newcastle last season.
I'm talking about the media.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Doing it. That's
I'm
talking about Neville. I'm talking about Carragher. I'm talking about what's his basically all media outlets, to be honest with you. And when he was asked post game about this whole referee thing, he's like, "Oh, I think English managers should just do their job, mate. And they should just let the referees do their job." No, that's not going to happen, because you're not going to come up here and change the entire culture of the Premier League. Because Ferguson called out referees, Benitez called out referees, Mourinho called out referees, Wenger called out referees. It's been happening because the standard of Premier League refereeing in general is crap. That's the ultimate reality. And the reason why Ainge didn't criticize referees that game is because Romero should have been sent off half an hour before he gets sent off, and Udogie should have been sent off half an hour before he got sent off as well. So that's why he had nothing to complain about. Even in that game, decisions went in Spurs' favor, even with the 2 red cards. That's the insane part. So of course he had nothing to complain about. That's incomparable to a 100% correct goal not being given, and at the same time, a red card that isn't a red card being given as a red card. Those are completely different conversations to you essentially not having that. Now, I think the media are overdoing it. And the 3 Manager of the Month awards, I don't believe he deserves all 3. I don't. He got a Manager of the Month award for beating Luton, Sheffield, and I don't know who the fuck the third team was. I think it was last month, actually. The one before that,
there was like 3 matches. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Palace. It was
3 dubs,
Palace.
Though. 3 dubs,
it was
though.
Palace, Luton, and I forgot the third one. He shouldn't have got that. And the one before that as well, I think Klopp should have gotten it. Because Klopp, we won all games except that Spurs robbery. So I think Klopp should have been Manager of the Month. First one, fair enough. If he gets that, I've got no problem.
Fair enough. Hey, again, big up everybody in the chat. There's 120 of y'all across all platforms, so big up. Whatever platform you're watching on, make sure you are hitting that like, hitting that subscribe. I want to go to the poll real quick. We are approaching an hour, so usually around an hour I like to see where we're at in the poll. There's 76 votes, so there's still about 40 of y'all that ain't voted, and half of y'all ain't liked the video. So make sure you're doing both, and make sure you're also subscribing to This Is Football. The question is, what do you think of Husam's thoughts on Tottenham? And I've tried to get some more out of him. So if those of you who said, I don't know what his thoughts are, and maybe personally didn't see that side of, you're not on Twitter, or you don't subscribe to his channel, and you don't know what his thoughts are, tried to get his thoughts a little bit more known. What is that? What is that? Where you're going to show us your vote?
Hit this X button. Hit this like button right here. Boom. Right there. See? Hit that like button. Oh, you guys want the tutorial? So you see, this is you watching us. Hit the vote for he's got a good point about Spurs in the poll right here. And then hit X on the live chat and hit the like button right here. We need to help out United Spurs of America. I can't lie to you guys. I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to just say this publicly. I love working with Jacob. And I love Jacob's opinions. And this platform is a platform I will happily come on over and over again. Because this is just an elite channel right here. So make sure you guys are subscribing. I even have the notification bell on. So yeah, you guys can hold that if you haven't subscribed to United Spurs of America.
That's one of my favorite things, is you guys can hold that. And absolutely, if you haven't subscribed. But big up everybody. 49% says he's waffling and he's clearly upset with us. So half of the people who have voted are saying that HUSAM is clearly waffling and he's just upset with us. 21% says he's got a good point about Tottenham Hotspur. 13% says I don't know what his thoughts are, to be honest. And 17% says 50-50, half truth and half agenda based. And look, I try to give fair and equal representation to every single bite. And big up for Hamza's Piano for the super chat. I don't know what that means. Just a tender.
I think that's autocorrect messing him up. This is one of my guys. Just a reminder, Hussam, Liverpool drew with Luton. Big up. Luton Town.
Oh, just a reminder, Hussam. Liverpool. Hey, winning at Kenilworth Road ain't for everybody. And I didn't even want to bring that up.
Yeah,
because
winning at Wolves away ain't for everybody.
Did you win at Wolves away or did you draw?
Yeah, 3-1, 11v11 as well.
Oh, shit. That was someone else who drew that. That was someone else. Okay. You're right. Hey, I'm slipping. A little bit slipping. Obviously, I want to say just keep everything football related in the chat. I see some of y'all getting upset with each other over this, that, and the other. But go ahead and make sure y'all just give each other some love and respect. Who cares if they support Liverpool? They're human beings, and that's first and foremost. So, moving right along. Thank you, Hamza's Piano. I wish I had a piano. So the fact that Hamza has a piano, that's pretty sick. I want to bring this up from Neil Shafton. Says, how about our goalkeeper Vicario? Is he still a joke in net? I believe that is something he did say once on a watch along. I believe it was for, I don't have the clip because obviously I did not do enough pre-production, but I want to say it was versus you guys when he had the double save. When he had the double save, I think you said
slandering Vicario. I've probably slandered half of your team. I don't think Vicario is one of them, to be honest with you. I've slandered Romero. I've slandered who's your dumbass right back that you guys even don't like, Royal. I've slandered him. I've slandered
Emmer Goat. You're speaking about Emmer Goat, the compilation king.
Sar. I've slandered Madison.
Why are you going to slander Sar? This is a young man. He just scored his first international goal as well for Senegal. Shout out Ep97 Sar.
There you go.
Why slander Sar? Why is Sar catching strays?
I don't know. He probably just caught one of them. No, but it wasn't like a big stray. It was one of the smallest strays. Yeah, it was one of the smallest strays. Yeah. Kulusevski. I think Kulusevski is overrated as fuck, by the way. You guys need.
I was watching your fraudulent show over there on Fraudulent Staffy TV, which go shout out. So subscribe to Staffy TV if you haven't already. There's a fraudulent show they did over there, and it was their overrated 11. And HUSAM and Staffy both tried to lie on my name live on air. They tried to say, look, everyone in the channel gives me a lot of shit because of how I do not rate Kulusevski or how I don't give him. I've always said the door is open for him to impress me, but I've seen him play not good longer than I've seen him play good for Tottenham. And I don't fall in love for the sake of love. I fall in love when you give me a reason or something to love. And I just haven't had that with Kulusevski. I've had some moments where I'm like, yeah, I really like what he's doing. I really appreciate the things that he's done. Look, he does some work as a winger defensively, I guess is good. But
if you had wingers that are elite with Son, that would help 100%.
If we had wingers that could actually stretch the pitch vertically and apply and offer some legitimate threat, because think about it, if you're a left back, you got to imagine Andy Robertson and Simicast were like, oh, we got Kulusevski. I know exactly what I'm going to do. He's going to cut it in on his left. He's going to look for the shot, or he's definitely not going to cross it on his right foot. You do not have to worry about that. And to me, that predictability is what really hinders anything, because you have to have pace and power. He does have power. He does not have pace. The power helps him in the sense of defensively getting into winning the ball back in defensive areas for us well. I think that's what his best attribute this season is, which to me shouldn't be the best attribute of your wingers, if I'm quite honest. When you look at Mohamed Salah, the best right winger in the world, or at least in this league, you could say, maybe not the world, but is one of his best qualities his work in defensive positions, winning the ball back in defensive areas? Is that any way you've ever described any winger at your club?
No, to be honest with you, I think with the whole first of all, Mo Salah is it's not something you can find in the market anyway. You know, Mo Salah is like Mbappe, like you're talking about the best of the best. But even if you look at a smaller degree, like someone like a Musa Diaby, even someone like a Bowen, consistent goal threat. I think that's what's lacking. That's what's lacking from the team. It's completely lacking from from Tottenham Hotspur right now. I think this is why exactly what Son, for example, against Wolves, he looked like shit because no service, no Son. And the service, a part of who's responsible for that is the wingers. And I think, what's his name? Kulusevski. He kind of played the pass for, what it is, eventually. And this is, I know, maybe a kind of sad representation as well of the Premier League, but it's just the reality. Kulusevski doesn't have enough pace and power. I think Kulusevski is perfect for like the Serie A, for like La Liga, maybe where it's a bit slower. In the Premier League, he just doesn't cut it. You need to have pace, power. You need to have that. Even if you don't have power, you probably need pace, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I think that's the problem. He's not explosive enough. I think the one thing that he has that's good about him is his passing. On the left-hand side, I think it's who plays usually on the left for you, Richarlison, right? That's a disaster right there.
Well, Richarlison has been played out of necessity rather than being the brightest option there, because when we moved Son into the middle, it was essentially Perisic, then he did his ACL, then it was Solomon, he did his ACL, and then it was we have Brennan Johnson coming back. So now we started last week, Wolves anyway, with Brennan Johnson, and we started Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Brennan Johnson is a good example because Brennan Johnson is a lot more explosive than Kulusevski. If you compare Johnson and Kulusevski gets from 0 to 60 in like half an hour. Brennan Johnson does it in like 3 seconds. I'm not saying Kulusevski is slow like that. I'm just talking about explosiveness, like how quickly you get somewhere. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just you need good wingers. I think both of your wingers are weak. Even Johnson, he's like quick and stuff, but I think you need probably better quality than that. And I think you need a centre back as well. For when Romero decides to get sent off or a Van Ven injury, you need to have options off the bench, of which one is not Eric Dyer and the other is not Emerson Royal. Clearly in the right back as well. I think Porro isn't good enough either. So Spurs still have a lot of work to do and a long season ahead as well with the injuries and with the red cards and everything. So it's going to be peak. You could genuinely collect 0 points out of the next 12.
I don't think that's going to happen. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. Real quick, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but San Antonio Hotspur is upset about something that he got banned. I don't know why San Antonio Hotspur got banned, but and then someone else is saying Wolves got banned. Wolves 5 got banned. Let's not ban anybody. I don't know what was said, but I don't think anybody needs to be. I banned one person off the top. Who was that? Off the top, they were saying something dumb. But hey, if y'all are upset with the way that this show's gone on, I've lost 3 subs since the beginning of this show. That is A-okay. You don't have to be subscribed to this channel. As y'all are leaving, more people are coming in. But big shout out to the over 120 of y'all that are still in the place. Hey, I only bring up people that I want to have a great conversation with. If you unsub from the channel because of your experience in the chat, that's not all me. So, but again, free universe, you can unsub, subscribe, whatever you want to do. You're welcome back if you want to come back at any point. But sorry, Tequila's upset with something going on. San Antonio Hotspur is upset with something going on. I would say that, look, I've just been here. Yeah, Scott M. Look, Scott M is Tottenham Hotspur's biggest hater, and he says unsubscribing because you got an accidental 5-minute timeout. That is silly. Look, hey, if that makes you unsubscribe, like I said, you don't have to do nothing here. You don't have to do nothing here. Yeah, people are dropping like flies. Hey, it is what it is. Wolf says he didn't get a time. Yeah, I don't know why there's so much conflict here. You would have thought that HUSAM and I would be at each other's throat, but HUSAM is actually the chat that is actually at each other's throat. Maybe I should do one of those things like in Twitch where they have the live chat and I can just say, oh, look at these people. They're going at it. I'm just trying to have a football conversation with another football content creator and, and a friend of mine as well. I will say that. So if you got anything against HUSAM, then you got something against a friend of mine. So if that makes you want to unsubscribe from the channel, by all means. I am not your father as much as I would like to be.
You're not my dad.
You're not my real dad. Yeah. Big up. We are here over an hour. Big up to everyone who is still here. But there's over 120 of y'all. It'd be great if we can get the likes up over 100, despite the 3 people who decided to unsubscribe. But hey, I hope y'all
We'll get that
have
back
some
for
love
you
in you.
from this football community. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Well, hey, I mean, yeah, I guess he got timed out. Zapur says he's not sure. Zapur's a regular here. Lauren, who's a new mod, hey, I've seen her on your channel quite a bit. She's always been respectful to me when I'm on your channel, getting blinders from your chat for my shamelessness. So that's why I gave her a mod. If anyone's upset with that, I'm sorry about it. Says no one got banned out, timed out. There was discriminatory comments made about your guest and inappropriate sexual comments being made. Well, I do allow some sexuality here on the channel. I do let it, kind of a hippie vibe. Love is love, and don't shame anybody for loving what they love. I will say that much. But discrimination is not cool. I will say that. But hey, Danny D's got a question. Sam, are we all twerking for Everton Sunday?
Everton play Man United. You damn right we are. Yo, Everton versus Man United. Man United are about to be the unluckiest club of the whole world, man. World.
Hey, everyone's upset with you for the traps. It's the traps. It is the traps. I got a couple more starred questions here I want to go through. We do have a show over at This Is Football in about 10 minutes from now, so I will be redirecting on over there. But I want to make sure I get to some of these comments that I did star from y'all. We did ask that one. Spurs GCTV says, HUSAM, our match with Liverpool was a joke and ruined. I want to see 11 against 11 next time with both teams going for it. It will be better than City-Chelsea match, in my opinion, the 4-4 draw. Absolute fun match to watch. Spurs GCTV, I do agree. It was starting out like a match. I was like, wow, this could be game of the season already, or at least at this juncture. And it started that way until a red card, which is not our fault, which was Curtis Jones' fault, in my opinion. Play cleaner, take the ref out of the situation. Same thing to Christian Romero. He made two Curtis Jones actions, which is an action that the ref could deem in some manner as sending offable, which Romero had the kick. I keep it 100, HUSAM. I always keep the same energy for refereeing decisions. I never give them credit and I never blame them, because they are going to fuck up, and I know that. And why am I going to blame them for something that is expected, right? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
No, look, you have to blame them for not doing their job good enough, Jacob.
But when is the point in which that we actually start? And I asked that question, HUSAM, kind of off the top, and I wanted to dive more into it, but I did not. Why is it now that since it went against Liverpool and the wider market said yes, this was wrong, and PGMOL said yes, this was wrong? Why is it then that this was amplified? Because there's been other moments where PGMOL said we got it wrong, but no one cared, no one gave a shit. Southampton got relegated last year, and there was a dodgy decision in there.
Well, then that's on them. Why didn't they escalate the situation? That's what I said. Same thing, like, you're not going to blame me for escalating the situation. They should have escalated it. Why didn't Arsenal escalate? Why didn't Southampton escalate? Why didn't all these clubs? They should have escalated that, and they should have demanded that the PGMOL audio gets released. Because the quicker we find solutions for these shit referees, the quicker it is. Because you're talking about independent. If Spurs come to Liverpool in May, 1 point off us in top, and if we win that game, we win the league, and we end up winning it because of a wrongfully given penalty, you ain't going to sit up here and talk to me about independent. You're going to say that's a problem. So we need to fix the problem, and the problem is the Premier League referees. In general, I think the Premier League referees are crap for everyone except Man City, to be honest. I don't think they're crap for Man City. Man City always get the easy decision. But other than that, I think it's just like, yeah, they're shit in general, to be honest with you. They can't make a decision to save their life. So we need to speak about Premier League referees actually doing their job, actually improving, because people keep saying like, okay, maybe then the Premier League should start getting certain referees from outside England then, maybe get Italian referees or getting German referees to come and referee English Premier League games. 3/4 of them can speak English anyway. And I bet you they do a better job. I mean, we watch our teams in Europe. We kind of rarely complain about anything in Europe, to be honest with you. So yeah, is that a dog? That was
Yeah,
so
that's Chewy. Yeah, that's Chewy.
out
That's
of
my
nowhere.
dog.
He just appeared.
Oh, he's been sleeping. He's camouflaged. He has a brown bed and he's brown, and he just kind of looks.
I just
Hey,
noticed
that's
the dog
what
in
I'm
our
saying. Don't get on my bad side. I released the attack. He actually is not an attack dog. He's deaf, and he's overweight, so that's a lot of fun. Daniel, big up Daniel says Jones's red card was every bit as deserved as Romero's, and I do agree with this. And
I
I
don't
like
think Jones was a red card, but I said I'm not willing to fight for it. Do you understand what that means? Like, it's just like, okay, if you want to give that as a red, whatever. Like, I'm not complaining if it's given, type thing.
Yeah. I like this comment. Just I thought it was fun. Good, big up LFC for the double. Says if HUSAM sewed the PGMO his traps, we wouldn't get any bad calls. And if we, as in the collective Liverpool, look, there's a lot of moments that I look back and I say, wow, VAR fucked us. But then I just move on. Why do you think that this was not one of those moments that Liverpool fans could move on quickly from? Now, I'm not saying you haven't moved on at this juncture. Everyone the day after was saying, oh, we'll see you in May or March, whenever it was, which is funny because I don't know when the hell we play again. But
May 4th.
thank you. I was going to say two questions, and one of them was, look, 125 bookmarks. I just realized on this tweet that I still have highlighted. 125 people bookmarked your. I wish you could see who bookmarks your shit, because then you
All
could,
of them Spurs fans, 125 Spurs fans.
one of them is me. You can clearly see that. I just technically kind of like it, but why do you think that is, like, that all these other clubs, we just move on? Is that our fault because we don't push it to a higher degree, or is it just, for me, I've always had the mindset of
The Liverpool
just
game specifically or generally?
generally now.
Generally, as I said, then clubs need to escalate it. I have no problem with clubs escalating. Yeah, escalate it. Dunk on these frauds called PGMOL. Absolutely roast them. Absolutely get them to start making the right decisions. It's so pathetic. Every time the Premier League referee, by the way, Premier League referees were not good enough even without VAR. VAR is called video assistant referee for a reason. It's supposed to assist you, not make you make more dumber decisions. So yeah, that's the thing. Like the reason why that game is kind of highlighted is because of the amount of mistakes, and because it was a big occasion, and it's because of the stupidity of the mistakes. And the fact that they said, well done, lads, good process, after disallowing a perfectly legal goal is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
Got a question from a YouTube chat member. Darren Wimbledon says, do you think that the game is being spoiled by VAR right now?
Nope, the game is not being spoiled by VAR because VAR is not spoiling any other league. VAR is not spoiling the Champions League. VAR is not spoiling any other competition. It's just spoiling the Premier League because of the people applying it. I will never blame the system. I will never blame the thing that's created to kind of, how can I say this? I'll never blame the thing that's created to help referees. I'll blame the referees for not being able to use the tools. If I give you a ruler and you can't measure stuff properly, that's your fault, not the ruler's fault.
Big up Spurs King. Well done, boys. Good process. Love that one. Big shout out to the VAR audio there.
So you're being an asshole. See who's being an asshole now?
I just pulled up a comment that someone in I have no control over what the chat says. Look, I have people unsubscribing from the channel because of what the chat's saying. You think I have any control over that? I was just bringing up what somebody had said.
Wow, Jacob.
Look, I got a couple more things I want to bring up before we inevitably end off. Look, this is your honest Arsenal Spurs combined 11. This was in September, so if you could make any changes to this 11, Arsenal Spurs combined 11, what would it be, and why is this so fraudulent? Because there's no James Maddison in there. That's fraudulent to the highest degree. Odegaard is not better than James Maddison.
Now, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Scroll down to the bottom to the keepers. First of all, Vicario had a Raya. I'm keeping the same back four completely. I don't think I'm changing any of that. I think Saliba and Gabriel are both better than your center backs.
You're saying Gabriel's been better than not only Romero, but he's also been better than Van de Ven.
I just think Gabriel, when I say, I'm not talking about form here. I'm just talking about who I think is better, full stop. I think Vicario's proven himself long enough. Bissouma and Rice double pivot is great. Scroll forward. I'm still keeping Odegaard over Madison.
That is fraudulent. Why would? Okay, no, you're not just gonna brush over that.
Can
Why?
can I
Based
speak?
on what?
Can I speak? Can I
Yes,
speak?
but
I'm
please
playing Madison,
apply some
playing Madison
context.
left wing. See how I just saved that?
James Madison left wing.
Madison left wing, and I'm putting Son versus Jesus is an interesting one. Son always needs service though, so like I don't know, man. Like yeah, I'm probably putting Son over Jesus. Yeah, that's it. Changing that.
So Richarlison has many goal contributions.
Over here has just bookmarked my entire fucking tweet history about Spurs. You know, we could have done a 3-hour show just on my on your bookmarks. Right
Oh,
there.
trust me, I had plenty. You're lucky my ADHD takes me down avenues in which I haven't explored. And just general, I appreciate having a good conversation with you. But yeah, Odegaard over Madison is absolutely shameless. And even the Liverpool fans agree. And the fact that Richarlison has just as many goal contributions as Martinelli and Jesus in the Premier League as they do.
Martinelli, I said it. And I'm taking out Jesus. Son for Jesus, Madison left wing. Problem solved.
How does Odegaard make it into any combined? He's been absolutely atrocious.
You just don't see it. You just don't see it. Odegaard is him. He's him.
Is that why Norway, the country he's leading as a captain, is that why they're going to European success?
Is that why Erling Haaland has one non-penalty goal in his whole year for Norway, and it was assisted by Odegaard?
I guess a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, huh?
Well, the primary squirrel up top is not getting it the job done. So yeah.
Big up,
so
Ellie.
I'm biased. You guys are saying Bentancur over Rice. Have some shame and decorum.
Well, I didn't mean to click that. I didn't mean to click that comment specifically.
Come on, man.
Jacob, question: will Spurs keep going with Lo Celso? I pray and hope we do not. That would be absolutely mistaking. Yeah, that's it. You know. All right, I'm gonna move along. I do have more, but look, your channel's live. It was supposed to be 2 minutes ago, so I am gonna end off the show. I am gonna redirect for those of you interested. We are going on over to This Is Football. We will be picking Team of the Year, and don't you worry, my energy will not change. I am not a flip flop. You can pull up receipts on me. My energy will always be the same. Just a real quick.
Yes.
Here's your Liverpool Spurs combined 11. For reference as well.
That's as fair as it comes. You cannot argue a single thing. Alisson over Vicario. Don't even try. Trent, of course. You're
Statistically,
right
in the first 10 matches, at the juncture in which this was made.
Now you want to talk statistics. What happened to you didn't want to talk statistics when it came to
I'm a 50-50 kind of guy. I do 50 eye, 50 stats. 50 eye, 50 stats.
Well, you know what? My entire back five wins the stats and the eye test. Who has the strongest defense in the league? Thank you very much for coming.
Lauren, a Liverpool fan, says, I'm going to argue on Konate. And I would argue on Konate as well. Robertson is finished. Yeah. Romero, I'd say Romero and Udogie get in on this. Vicario is a shout, but I guess based on legacy, we'll give him that. But Van Dijk's been absolutely outstanding. I do think Van Dijk's been
Oh, that's better, so cute, Jacob. Thank you. You actually gave me credit.
I just wanted to highlight this too before we do end off. It says the Ainge hype will die soon. You will get exposed soon. And he may think that this is like hitting on some degree because we capitulated versus Chelsea. And then because of the consequences of the actions there, that led to the downfall at the Molineux. But I'm here to tell you all right now, Spurs fans, non-Spurs fans, the Ainge hype ain't dying. The Ainge hype ain't going nowhere. And as far as our season, we may get exposed because of our squad depth. But Tottenham Hotspur, Ainge Postecoglou, in no manner, no matter how this thing shakes out, this crazy Premier League season shakes out, is no exposing of Ainge or Tottenham. It is an exposing of our lack of squad depth and our ineptitude over the last few years of recruitment and big picture planning for our club. So that is on us. I will hold that L respectfully, but I do know that things are changing at Tottenham Hotspur. And that is why I can still be proud of my club, proud of my manager after a 4-1 loss to Chelsea, after a loss to the Molyneux. I can still say, you know what? I trust the progress that is occurring at my club right now. I'm receiving a lot of the things that I asked for. So the Ainge hype ain't dying. Nothing's being exposed other than the things we already knew were there. You're telling me there's a termite problem at the house? We knew that. We've known that since the season started, that we have termites in our squad and they're eating away at the foundation of this home. But
you play Villa next, and then Man City away, and then West
Yeah.
Ham, and then Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But I've said this on record. We are not taking 4 L's in a row. We already have 2.
Problem. Okay, no problem. I don't even think you're going to get 4 L's in a row. I just said it's a possibility. How many points are you getting out of 12?
From those 4?
Yes.
4 to 5.
4 out of 12. And you're saying the Ainge hype ain't dying.
4 or 5. It ain't going to die because we get 4 or 5 points out of 12. I think we'll draw versus Villa. I think we'll lose versus City. I think we can beat West Ham. Absolutely, we can beat West Ham. I don't care what they've done. David is not moist. He is not in any form moist. That's why they have all them damn bubbles just to keep his face hydrated with the liquid. So, look.
Pause.
I think we can win that. That's 4 points. And then I think Newcastle's a draw. I think we could get a draw out of that. That's at home, so we could get a draw. I'm saying we could. And that's why I'm saying 5 points out of
the shit you just said, but fair enough.
Ugly Fish says 8 or 9. I love to see that. Marco Grady says West Ham will fuck you up. I don't think they will. I think they're a bunch of chumps. I don't care what nobody says. West Ham, more like wet ham. I ain't trying to fuck with that wet ham. It go nasty. As bad as high in sodium. Plus the bubbles, the soap help you wash your sins. So big up everybody who has tuned in. Big up CFCOG. Good to see you in the house. Big up everybody who did play nicely. I do also want to say before I go, shout out to THFC Till I Die, member for 5 months using his membership chat. Mia with the first super chat and Hamza's Piano with the second one. I do appreciate y'all spending your hard-earned money here on the channel. It is a humble channel I'm running here. But big ups to everyone who did go ahead and do that. Look, the free thing you could do is hit a like, hit a subscribe. That costs you absolutely nothing. Sorry if I did miss your question. Sorry I missed a lot of different things in the chat, and some people are very upset about it. But hey, we move, and we're still on the road to 3K. So while we did lose 3 subs tonight, that's okay. We're still on the road to 3K. No one can stop that. So big up to everyone who is helping in that. Shout him out. And HUSAM, thank you so much for joining. Everyone go subscribe to This Is Football. A great guy, great content creator. Yes, he does waffle. I've brought up some of his past discretions, and it's all fun and games. And so go subscribe. Go support a great channel. And hey, we'll see you guys on the other side. HUSAM, you have any final thoughts before I sign us out?
Yes, we're about to do team of the season. I'm going to make sure 0 Spurs per players.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Do you have any final thoughts before we sign out the show, HUSAM?
Yeah, we're about to do a team of the season.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
I'm about to leave the stream right now.
I love you. That's the last one. I'm running out of clips, so that's legitimate. But yes, we are doing a team. Go ahead and plug. Hey, look, hands in the air.
We're doing a team of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you come tune in. We've got Igal coming on, Jacob coming on, and Winter Surfer coming on. So, yeah, no Man United fan because no Man United player makes it, and all the City fans bottled it. So, yeah.
Big up to everyone in the chat. That's going to do it for episode number 96 of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. Big shout out. No need to go anywhere. I will redirect you straight on over to the show, and we'll see you on over there. And every Tottenham Hotspur fan, get in the chat and tell me and everyone else, support my argument, because you know I'm going to be fighting for my lads. So I'll see you on the other side. So as always, folks, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. Quiz.